because they're 3 hours behind. So for them to,
Okay.
and I think
All right. We're live, so it's time to start the meeting for the month of December, the Nuisance Review Board. We have a quorum. First item on our agenda is approval of minutes from November 19th. I entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
I approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, before we start the property review, I just wanted to say a few words since we have an audience here of people that were invited. That back in the, I think the spring or summer of 2024, I was asked if there was anything that as the mayor I could do to try and get properties cleaned up. And most cities have a nuisance committee, or they have a code enforcement officer that's all that person does is goes and assesses fines or visits the household. That's all that code enforcement officer does. We don't have a code enforcement officer, so most small communities will have a nuisance committee. So that's why I decided that we needed to form a board to address those types of issues that we have in our city from time to time. So we've had between 40 and 50, and also I'll say that it's complaint driven. So unless someone files a complaint, we're not out there driving around trying to find properties that maybe need cleaned up. So it's complaint driven, and we've probably had 40 to 50 different situations that we've dealt with. So you may feel like you're being picked on, but that's not what we're trying to do. We're not trying to single anyone out. It's complaint driven, like I said. So unless someone files a complaint, that's why this board was formed. So I just wanted to make sure everybody kind of understood why we formed the nuisance review board.
could I just add?
Yeah, sure.
That the nuisance ordinance has been in place for quite some time. I can't even remember how long it's been. It's been a number of years that the nuisance ordinance has been in place. What's new or fairly new is that there's a committee that actually looks at properties
And
tries to.
the ordinance itself was updated a little bit with some other language, but
Yeah, but primarily it was to appoint a committee
Right.
to work with the property owners.
And as far as the committee, just kind of the makeup, we're missing a couple members, but I'm Ron Dahl. I'm a city councilman here in the city of Berne, and I'm the city council representative on the board. Chief Tim Taylor, who's not able to be here tonight, he's on the board. Shannon Smitley isn't here. He could be joining us. He's the building and planning supervisor, the mayor, and then we have a couple citizens who have been appointed to this board, John Kirchhoffer and Dwight Haber. So that's what's kind of stated in the ordinance. The other thing I guess I would mention is, like the mayor said, the ordinance was updated in 2024. The verbiage about how the nuisance review board would work and how complaints would be submitted, that process was documented, in the ordinance at that time. And honestly, like the mayor said, most cities of just about any size have a nuisance review board or a enforcement agent of some sort. I know Geneva has a nuisance review committee. Decatur has a nuisance, like, and
Enforcement officer.
enforcement officer. So this isn't just Berne trying to do this. At this point, the other thing I would say before we go into property reviews, like the mayor said, we've dealt with 40 to 50 different properties over the last 18 months since the nuisance review board was put in place. And I think we've had really good success working with people on things that have been brought up. I think to this point, the committee's been very flexible. I think we've been very compassionate, and we've given people opportunities to work on issues as they've come up. So I'm not saying the process is perfect, but I think from where we started, I think it's a pretty good process. So that's just Ron's opinion on the nuisance review board. And like the mayor said, with the number of people who are here, and maybe watching online, it's just good for us once in a while to put out what we're trying to do. We're not trying to pick on anybody, but we are trying to use the ordinance to address situations that come up for neighbors who are living in that area, just so that we can address things. So anyways, just my 2 cents.
Okay, so we'll proceed with the next item on the agenda, which is property review. And the first property that's on the first property that you have in front of you is 466 Baltimore Street. And I believe Brian is here, correct? Okay, and so I know that you've had some discussion prior to this meeting. So I'm not privy to what that discussion was about.
I think
Maybe Ron and Shannon.
yeah,
can fill us in.
Brian had reached out to me after Shannon Smithley had talked to Brian several times, and we went down and talked with Brian and had a good discussion about some things that have been discussed in this forum before. So honestly, I think, Brian, if you're willing, I know with the accumulation of rubbish letters that you've received from the discussion you had with me and Shannon, I think you have a plan on that. So would you be willing to share that plan with the board?
Yeah, just plan on cleaning the last few things up and putting my fence back up.
Do we have a date that you might be looking at that you could clean things up?
When it's warm enough to go outside and dig holes in the ground. Can't really do anything until then.
See, many of the neighbors are concerned because it affects their property. And we're concerned to keep property looking the way it should be. And
I mean, who's to say that the way it should be? I mean,
well, the ordinance, we have the ordinance would give us a good idea
I get that,
of
but it's
what
not
should
that-
and what shouldn't be.
the ordinance isn't the ones that are complaining about it. My neighbors that don't pay my house payment are the ones complaining about it. I mean, I don't complain about any of my neighbors, will be done the right to complain.
Maybe you should.
So John, if I could interject, when I met with Brian the other day, he's gonna put the fence up. So the fence is gonna be put back up where it was at one point in time before all of this started. When the fence was taken down, because it was on the outside where the water shut off was in place, he had to take it down so that we could gain access to the water shut off. So there were some things in his life that occurred over the last 4 or 5 months that didn't allow him access potentially to things he would have liked to have done. And what he mentioned to Shannon and me is that we even looked at where he's going to put the fence back up. And when he puts the fence back up, some of the things that neighbors are concerned about seeing won't be able to be seen anymore. And with the way the weather has been, he can't put, fence posts in the ground with the way the weather is right now. So as far as when, I mean, springtime.
Some of these concerns started a number of months ago when the weather was decent. And I'm talking a number of months ago. So how long do we wait, Ron?
A number, a very big number of them concerns. If you was looking at the pictures, you would be able to tell that.
Yeah, I mean, there's been progress over the last 4 or 5 months from where the original pictures were to where we are today. I mean, we've said that in meeting minutes, and
In the last few months, there's been a big boat.
that's a separate issue. That's not a part of accumulation of rubbish. Brian also got a letter on junk vehicles where we identified his boat and his trailer as being junk vehicles.
Which are both legally plated.
And if you look at the ordinance, the only reason that we sent that to him was because of the little verbiage in there that says 30 days unattended. And I know there have been discussions about how do you define what 30 days unattended means. So the junk vehicles, whether it's a camper, whether it's a boat, whether it's a trailer, I personally think the ordinance needs to be revisited and needs to be a little more specific than what it is today. Because if Chief Taylor was here right now, he would tell you that 30 days unattended, if we're saying it has to be moved in 30 days, who's to say it hasn't been moved?
Would you initiate, Ron, starting to look at the ordinance and becoming a little more specific and clean up some of these homes that look like trash?
Yes, I want that. I want the ordinance to be better in that area than what it is today.
So can you tell me what's wrong with my boat sitting there? What's wrong with my boat? I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I got a cover on it. I got plates on it. It's 100% legal. How many cars do you got sitting in your house? I mean, it's the same thing. I went through the state. I paid the money. I plated it. So am I supposed to take it somewhere else just because my neighbors don't like me having a boat? Because that's ridiculous.
Can we move on, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah.
One thing I would name, this is for everyone. Part of this has to do with the use of residential lots. And the nuisance ordinance is written in a way that I think there's a higher proof of use for residential lots than there is for commercial lots. And so that's why it's written that way. Can it be tweaked? Yeah, absolutely. But these lots are zoned residential. They're not zoned commercial, which means they're not so supposed to be used for metal, what's the word I'm looking for? Scrap metal. I'm not saying your boat is scrap metal, by the way, but a lot of these things that people are getting letters for with rubbish or junk has to do with things that are in the yard because of the nature of the residential nature of these lots. So I guess I'm just trying to emphasize that it's a little different standard for residential lots than for commercial lots. And that's why almost everybody that's heard from this committee are residential owners. I don't know if I said that well, but.
No, I think that was Good comment, David.
So before we go to the next property, Brian, we appreciate you coming and we'll continue to work with you on trying to,
Is there
Work
such time
through
to
this.
is there such time to get a date
for,
that he gets his fence up, if that's what he says he's gonna do to hide the things?
It seems like you have an issue with me personally. I mean, nobody else here has had any issue with anything I've said besides you.
People. Well, I will say one thing. If you lived on a lake, I could understand the boat.
What does a lake have to do with anything? It is legal.
It's legal.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
So should I
what,
go buy a lake house so I can put my boat there?
I'll tell you what, I live on a lake.
Well, good for you.
I have a boat. My neighbors would have a fit
Well,
if
it's a
I
good
lived.
thing your neighbors don't mind that. I have no, does anybody else here see a problem with me having a boat sitting in my house?
No.
My boat?
My thing is, I have a camper sitting in my yard. We did move our camper, but mine's a pop-up camper. Does that mean I should have my camper out in my yard because I don't live in my pop-up camper all year round. I take vacations on weekends and we take the pop-up camper to different campgrounds and things. So I'm not supposed to have my pop-up camper sitting out there. It's kind of the same thing with the boat. If he has his boat, if it's legal, why can't his boat sit there? Because he takes it, let's say he takes it to Grand Lake St. Mary's on the weekends or Lake Michigan or something like that. Where's he supposed to put this boat if he doesn't, just because he doesn't live on a lake house, no inconvenience, nothing to be said that you can't live on a lake. But just because he doesn't live on a lake house, he shouldn't own a boat?
Well, if I could interject.
I'm sorry.
Okay, no, you're fine. If I could interject, and Dave, help me if I go astray here. The way the ordinance is written today, it sort of frowns on those sort of things being on your residence property. I mean, it does, the way it's documented.
The way it's been written
Today.
from the beginning is that that trailers, boats, campers are not of residential nature. And so that's why it's written that way, I'm assuming, is what.
I get it. I'm just saying,
So where are we supposed to put it?
where should I put my camper at?
Where's that
If I
coming
don't
from?
use it all year long, because it's a pop-up camper, I'm not gonna, when it's 30 degrees below outside, I'm not obviously gonna be using my pop-up camper.
I mean, the way the law is written, I could technically go out and move my camper 6 inches. And then the next month I could move it back 6 inches and nothing could be said about it. That's
True.
exactly the way
That's
it's
the way
written.
it is right now.
that's the way it is right now.
These
Yeah.
guys right here, we shouldn't be complaining about that though. Who's gonna get them off my back? I mean, the law's for everybody. If that's the way the law is written and I'm following the law,
Right.
and I still got this guy on my back, what's the good of it?
Yeah, until we amend the ordinance to such a different, to a different language,
Yeah, 'cause I mean,
you're not in
what's the
violation,
30 days?
okay?
Like he said, the 30 days, you can
So-
move it 6 inches and.
Yeah,
I think what might be helpful for the committee would be if you could give us, I mean, are you gonna have your fence up by April 1? What do you think?
Like as soon as I can drill holes in the ground, I will put my fence up.
I mean,
Well, you're-
is
How
they,
far is your fence going?
It's like 15 feet that's not up.
So it'll go right by the boat, kinda?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to,
I'm not gonna put my boat behind the fence.
no,
I
in front of the
can-
boat.
It'll go on the back side of the boat, yeah.
Don't put it over the water shut off.
It's the tree right here, is where we looked at it. The tree with the fork. Let's assume that 50 to 60% of the people in Berne, or any city for that matter, would have a camper or a boat sitting in their yard. Any idea what that would look like?
You know, it's not any of my concern what somebody else's property looks like, something I don't care. I don't care.
Well,
I care about my property because I pay for my property.
It really comes down to this. This committee's job is to enforce the ordinance as it is right
Right,
now.
and the committee.
And that's why you're here. And so until it's changed, this committee is supposed to enforce this ordinance, so that's why we're asking you to come.
But something I would like to say, Brian, based on what you just said, the ordinance is in place to also protect neighbors
Right.
against things that really shouldn't be when you're talking about property values of other people's
And I
property.
get that.
So I mean,
If I
that's,
would've cleaned anything up, I would understand being here. And if you wanted to talk any more about the stuff I have sitting in my yard, that would be one thing. He wants to bring up an ordinance that says I can clearly move my boat 6 inches every 30 days and it's legal. And he's sitting there, you know,
but we've kind of,
Obviously, the original target for that are people that, where it stays put for years.
Right, and I get that.
So, yeah. But I think the committee's probably wanting to, it's a little vague to say when it gets nicer weather, I'll start working on it.
April 1st, and
Yeah.
sure.
if
April 1st, how's that work?
if it freezes till May, then that's one thing, but if it's not frozen, then I think that's pretty.
April 1st, providing the weather allows me. How's that sound?
We understand you
Keeps us
couldn't do
something.
anything now because the
Right.
ground's froze. I mean, that's understandable. So we'll continue to monitor and work with you. Okay?
And I'd mention one last thing is this committee, I've listened to their discussions, and the thing that they probably appreciate the most is communication.
And I've done that. I've done very well with that.
You have.
As well as cleaning my stuff up. I mean, if
And
you used to look through them pictures, you would see a night and day difference.
And we appreciate what you've done.
I mean, that most of you seem to, but
Well,
I'm still gonna have these two guys on my back. There's gotta be something we can do different as far as getting them off my back. I mean,
I'll buy you coffee sometime, okay?
But thanks again, Brian, for coming. Appreciate it.
Brian, thanks for agreeing to be lead off.
Appreciate you being here. Okay.
All right, the next one is 753 North Jefferson Street. That has been, according to the before and after pictures, that a lot of the leaves and the shrubbery and stuff has been removed.
On this property, if I could, I think going back to our October the 15th meeting, we talked about this, and there had been two issues at that point. There were lawn mowing and landscaping issues that were brought up for that meeting on October the 15th. And the property owner was at the meeting, and that issue had been resolved. But also at that meeting, we discussed the debris and all of the construction things that have been laying there on the south side of the property. And I think, I look back at the meeting minutes, and what was said on October the 15th was that they had a dump trailer, they were gonna bring the dump trailer in, and all of that was gonna be removed. And we're now 2 months since October the 15th. So my question is, on the debris,
It's still there.
it's still there. I mean, so that's the issue.
It is still there. The dump trailer and skid loader have been rented out at different times. Someone broke the skid loader, it cost me $1,500 to get it repaired. I work full-time, my son works full-time. Shortly into November, winter came in with a vengeance.
We understand that.
When it's below freezing, we don't like to run the skid loader. It's hard on the hydraulics.
Yeah.
I would ask if I could have till April 1 to do that as well, because it's, and talk about things happening, our only tow vehicle just went in the shop. And it's on radiator or something, it's probably going to be at least 2 weeks before we get it back. So I can't
Okay.
get the trailer in.
So your name's Vicky, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Vicky, I appreciate that, and I was actually thinking about this whole meeting tonight and this property came to mind, I had an opinion, okay? But I needed to hear what's happened for you not to be able to address the situation, because you were pretty sure on October the 15th that it would be out of there.
Yeah,
So what I'm hearing is the equipment that you would have used for that, you rented out and it
Yes,
was
we did.
rented and you were making money with it.
Yeah.
And then you had issues with the transportation
Yeah.
truck.
just recently, yeah.
And then we've had a bad December. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Stuff's covered with ice and snow, and again, being 5 degrees doesn't agree with the skid loader.
Right.
And so, but we are aware and we will desperately try, and I'll try to get more of the leaves and that taken care of. I had hoped to do some tonight before coming here, but, as I said, I work full time and I didn't get to clock out until 4:46 today.
And,
So-
and no one's living there, right?
No, sir.
I guess I would throw this in, and that is right now, this committee discussing this with you as a nuisance
Mhm.
is kind of the mild way of working on this. There would be communities that wouldn't have gone through the nuisance committee. They would have jumped right to an unsafe building ordinance, which deals with condemnation and possible removal. We're not there.
Okay, I hope
So,
not. I
well,
just
I'm just
didn't
saying-
look on it.
I'm just saying, I think, just pay attention to it. I think that's what we're saying is,
And we don't have
When-
any plans to go
No,
there, as long as you keep working on it and we understand that the ground's froze. I mean, everybody has leaves everywhere because they fell late, there's still some on the tree.
but what I'm getting at,
Yeah.
the nuisance committee hasn't even addressed
Right,
boarded up windows and
Yeah.
blight. So, anyway.
Yeah.
for what it's worth.
Thank you.
so we'll continue to monitor 753 North Jefferson and, any progress you can make, Vicky, just let us know. And
I think what
April
Vicky had
1st
mentioned-
is fine because of,
If I can get the
you
truck
can get the
fixed,
equipment,
and if
yeah.
it warms up a few days, my son works at GM and they'll be shutting down for a month here.
Yeah,
And so if we can, but
right,
there's a lot of conditions that have to
yeah,
come together.
we understand
And
that.
I think, like we talked with Brian, having a date to shoot for, you asked for April the 1st.
Yeah,
Personally, I'm okay with April the 1st, based on what the weather's done and what the weather may do. If you can do better than April 1st,
oh,
great.
yeah, we will try.
But, you know, if we're at April 1st and we're still looking at the same pictures, then
There's a problem.
we're not gonna feel like you've done your side of the coin, so to speak.
Understand.
Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vicki.
Okay, the next, property is 200 East Water. The camper that was there has been removed from the premise. But the current photo now shows that it's been moved, but there's 2 new trucks that have appeared.
And the owner of that property is who?
Bruce Lehman.
He's not here. He called me. He's in Fort Wayne. Somebody's daughter got stranded up there and he's bringing him home. But he said that he had Tim come. Tim got the bin check done. Everything went through, so he got rid of the trailer. It's gone. He said that everything there is plated. So,
The 2 trucks that are there are plated.
And the thing that we had asked to be addressed at the last meeting was the camper.
Yeah,
And it's been addressed.
it's been addressed.
well, the problem was it was an out-of-state title that was gone.
Right.
And it was, he had real trouble with it. So had to get like I don't know what he said, but he had to have Tim come.
But he worked on it and got it done.
Yeah. So we'll continue to monitor, that property, but right now it's been taken care of. So the next one is 306.
Mayor, if I could I make maybe a suggestion as far as the order of properties? No one's here from 306 Windridge Trail, right?
Right.
No, we're getting back here from 686, with Rossi. I think someone's here from 104 East Water Street, and maybe 166 Ryan Street. What address do you guys?
465 Stronger.
Oh, I got you. That's coming later. What I would like to ask is, can we skip over and come back to the properties where people aren't here, address the ones that are people are here, that way if people want to leave,
Good
they
idea.
can, and then we come back to these other two. That'd be okay?
Okay.
So I think in the packet, the next one is 104 East Water Street. It's in the order I have.
Okay,
And the owner of this property is,
Right here.
104 East Water Street.
And you've been here before, and you've done a good job on the front.
When we got the weeds down,
The back looks
vines, got
remarkably
them
different.
down, and then we came down sick and caught a cold, and it turned into COVID. And then the weather hit.
And we have, agreement with our nephew that he's gonna start helping us with our yard.
Okay. But the back has been
The
cleaned up.
vines have come down.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got them
the
down,
back has
and
been
then,
cleaned up.
and then we got sick, which turned into COVID, and then the weather hit.
And we appreciate what you've done to clean that up. It looks 100% better.
Thank you.
So what's the plan? What's your plan for all the lawn chairs that are out that you won't be sitting on all winter long? Can you put those on the east side so it's out of sight?
I gotta think of the east.
Oh,
Back.
yeah.
Back.
Yeah, you have a lot of stuff there that really shouldn't be there. If I did that to my house, my neighbors would scream and yell.
We got kind neighbors that don't complain.
Yeah.
We've been lucky.
but
Yeah,
we
you've been very lucky.
have a lot of people from 100 miles that come into Berne.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and we realize our location and
Yes, and
Yeah, you
so
have a central
people
location.
observe the cleanliness and so on of our town, and it leaves an impression with people.
right.
So that's the reason we're concerned. Okay?
And we've been trying to
Yeah.
by.
Yeah.
But yeah, about what we're going is my nephew has agreed to start doing our lawn work for us and getting all that taken care of during the spring and summer. And
So would you have a timeline to clean up all the lawn furniture outside? Or maybe
Yeah.
put,
We can do that as far as tomorrow.
yeah, that would be awesome.
Okay.
Any help you can give us would be fantastic.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah.
But for the reason that you're here tonight, you've addressed that really well. We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, looks good.
Any other
No.
issues with 104?
You guys said something on the phone about the handicap parking spot or something.
Yeah, we got all the vehicles off Jefferson Street. His stepdad is, an Army vet, and he's disabled. He's totally, 100% Agent Orange disabled.
We're on one side.
And his
of the
mom
house
is
and we're
on-
the other.
And his mom is strictly in the wheelchair.
You know where the
And-
ramp is.
Yeah,
And
They
just wonder if
are
we
on
get
that
a-
side.
the first spot there as a handicap, parking for them, because she can't wheel herself all the way down to the Water Street where we got to park at.
We had talked to, when we first moved in there, about getting a handicap, and and we appreciate the fact that there was one put there,
On Jefferson.
but it's put on water and we would need it on Jefferson, if possible. If not, then,
So the handicap spot's on water?
yeah, it's right there on the corner of
So
Jefferson and.
you're wanting to know if we could put one on water, or Jefferson
but
Street, on Jefferson Street?
Even if you took that one away and put it over on Jefferson, or, yeah, Jefferson.
Jefferson Street.
What's that zone? That zone
Yeah.
residential, or is that commercial?
I can go look.
Well, the reason why I ask is, that is whether it's zone commercial or not, it's a commercial zone, and so we have to be careful with where we put. We need to be responsive as to handicap, parking spaces, but
Right.
there are only so many in a commercial zone, I put it that way.
Yeah, because there is the one there on the corner of Jefferson and Water Street.
But it's
But it's on
on
water.
Water Street.
Well, there's one on Jefferson Street too.
Oh, there is?
Is it right? Isn't that where they were originally parking?
No, they were.
Yeah, they were parking there, but there's not a spot there for handicap. It's not marked.
The only handicap zone is right there on Water.
It's, right,
Right.
parking is the
Right.
Right around the
sign.
corner.
First one on.
Well, it's 2 hour, right? That's why
Yeah,
businesses were
Yeah.
asking if they could go
Right.
somewhere else.
Right.
And so they're asking for another spot in that area by the
Right.
handicap ramp.
I mean, honestly, as far as like handicap parking spots, that's not really this.
That's
board.
that's a council.
right.
Board of Public Works and Safety. And council.
So with that being said, as far as visual changes goes, the business that's there, that would leave them basically 2 parking spaces for 4 chairs.
Yeah, that's
On
the
the
concern.
inside. That's tough for a business. Just saying.
Well, even if they was to put it across the street, as long as it's within accessible distance to my mom and dad.
And be on the west side of that handicap.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, there's a ramp there,
Yeah.
the VA put the ramp there.
Yeah, where the ramp is. Even if it was, like you said, across the street, or, I don't wanna impose on businesses, but, for them, it's just so much easier for them to be able to park out there and then it's a 2-hour zone, it's a problem. We've got all that parking on Water Street that's not 2-hour, but nothing right there by their front door.
And I'm wondering if that's one reason why the handicap parking was put on Water Street, because it's not 2 hours.
I don't know.
Don't know that. I don't know when that was done.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
We'd have to do some research and,
And really, that is the Board of Public Works and Safety. That's where we usually start with those kind of things.
Alright.
That's not
we'd have
really
to do
nuisance
some
committee.
research and find out what we could do and can't do with a commercial zone, so.
Thank you.
But thanks for coming tonight. Okay, the next, one with someone here is 465 Sprunger. And the concern, back on November 12th was the lawnmowers in the front yard, and now they've been removed. According to the picture that was taken on 12/15, those have been removed.
And the bicycles laying on the ground nearby.
Those have been removed except for one.
Except for one, and it fell over.
And it's all over. That's my grandson's bike.
That's my grandson.
Okay.
Yep.
You use that trailer,
Which
one?
trailer?
the one that's typically almost in the front yard, many, many times.
I use that trailer a lot.
He uses it a lot
You
to haul
use it a lot?
scrap
I
and
use
stuff.
it a
Yeah,
lot.
Do you?
yeah, yeah.
I rarely move that thing through. As a matter of fact, it ain't even here in
Yeah,
town
it's
right
not
now.
here right
A
now.
buddy of mine's using it.
Yep.
Can you perhaps put that in the back in your driveway instead of in the
Well, right
yard?
now.
Right now, we're in the
Waiting.
process, we're gonna
Process
take a
of
tree down
getting trees
and
in
I'm
and
going
then
to
gravel
stone.
put in there.
in the backyard, and then I'll have a place to put it. Out your way.
Good idea.
Is what we're planning on trying to do. Yep.
And as soon as Tammy Tree Service gets here, they're supposed to be here yesterday.
Yeah.
They're gonna take the tree down in the backyard, tree down in the front yard, and I'm gonna stone that in the back.
So has
And I'd
Larry,
like to get a permit at some point in time to put a privacy fence.
Yep.
Around the back of my yard.
has Larry okayed this?
Then we're making progress.
Yep.
So have you checked into how far you can actually stone it and be within an ordinance of stoning your yard close to boundaries?
Well, the person right behind me is right against the alley.
Is that,
It's stoned right to the alley.
Mhm.
Both properties right beside it.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's right beside.
Yep. Both properties are stone to the alley.
okay,
Concrete's different.
Yeah, concrete's a big difference.
yeah, it's a little harder,
Yeah.
Yeah, trust me, any concrete worked for a lot of years.
yeah.
Make sure you know where the property line is before you put the fence up.
So
That
just,
would be the concern there.
That's the biggest
My
one.
concern, the fence is right, but as far as the stoning is concerned.
Probably
Stone
good to
alley.
know where the water
So
shut off
Larry,
is.
you know where that opening is before they come
Coming in the
in?
front
We're gonna come right off of
We're
the.
coming off there
or the side.
through the alley.
The neighbors will
Where I
see
want
right
to-
there, 'cause there's that
Mhm.
other.
Yeah, it's before.
Probably.
The alley's like the property.
Right, right.
Right, I have to
Yeah.
stay, where is it?
I don't know.
I think
Of just that. All right.
it's 6 or 8 foot now.
I don't know, Shannon.
What's that?
6 or 8 foot.
From
6
the
or 8
alley,
foot
is
from
it
the
6
alley.
or 8 foot from the alley?
For a fence.
For a
Okay.
fence?
Is it 6 or 8 foot?
There's no permit for a fence, but I mean, as long as you're not in the alley, the fence can be,
But you have to remember where the property line is not necessarily where the stone for the alley is.
Right.
So
Right, I understand
the
that.
only,
I understand that, but you
the
guys.
only way that you can really know is to have your lot surveyed.
You can't
Right.
build within that. They
Right,
put
right.
the fence up.
But is it, what I'm gonna get at, how many feet off of the alley do I have to be?
You mean off of your property line?
for the fence.
The property
For the
line.
fence,
I
it
would
doesn't
say
matter?
stay 2 feet away from your property line,
Okay.
2 feet. Okay,
so you don't trespass.
all right.
Yeah, I mean, I did a project recently and I got a hold of Miller Land Surveying and they came and showed me where my property line was, cause I have a big alley in the back. I mow it. It looks like it's part of the yard, but it's not.
Right.
So I didn't want to start this project and be on the wrong side of the property line.
Right.
So I had to come in and just do a back of my property, just line. So then I knew where the alley was and I knew where my property line was. And I made sure I was so many feet inside of that. So I think that's what.
Doesn't have to be a full-blown survey.
Right.
Yeah, you just
It wasn't, it was just a
property
2-point.
line mark.
Yeah, it was just a 2-point survey instead of the whole property.
You know where the gas line is put in?
Well, they can call
I'm
811,
on
right?
that side of it.
They can call 811
Straight up.
For what?
to have their lines marked to see where everything's at.
We'll just go.
Well,
Or not.
Property line.
where
You don't need
utilities
to.
are in.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just utilities.
But would they want that?
Oh, yeah, I know, I
Fence?
call 811, have everything marked, I understand.
Just kind of curious, did you sell the mowers?
Yes, I did, I sold 2 of them.
So you got one left?
Yes,
It's
I
under
do.
our lean too.
Yes,
So
I do,
is
I got
that-
one left, I sold 2 of them.
When you,
I got a guy who wanted them to put plows on them to plow the snow.
Is that, are
Right.
you selling the items that you put in your yard
In
occasionally?
Some of them,
in front
yes.
yard, yes, I do.
Okay.
I sold 2 of them. Guy wanted to plow snow.
Good for you.
And I actually gave him chains to put on the back of the tires so he could be able to push snow.
You threw that in.
I can put them off for him before he goes home.
All right.
So I think some of the concerns though, most of the time are
front road.
the front yard. We drive by and it's completely empty, and then someone else drives by and there's 4 tractors like this was. And then, so if there's a way you can
And
find.
again, I guess we're asking you to honor the tenor of the zone, and that is, it's a residential zone.
Yeah.
It's not a commercial zone.
So if you can have them maybe in the back or along the side, back by your garage.
No problem.
So,
I can advertise them.
yeah.
I can advertise them.
This is the man you see right here.
The advertising guy, right?
He's manager of the Berne Nuisance.
That's right.
He gets things done.
It looks much better, the picture that was just taken.
Thank you.
But thanks for coming and thanks for giving us a plan of what you're wanting to do.
Good, guys.
Back
Thanks, Lori.
behind your house.
Yep.
So appreciate your cooperation.
Here. Go back. Other properties.
The next one I have is 166 Bryan Street.
Did we skip 306?
Well,
Okay.
they're out of order now.
That's-
Yours are. Yours are stable.
So where are we?
You're out of order.
166 Bryan Street.
Don't tell that to the judge.
They were in order.
All right, so I think we're on 306.
We'll be on
306 Windridge Trail. 306 Windridge Trail. So Michael called into City Hall and wanted to have a conversation with me, so I called him back. He told me that the F-150 pickup truck that's parked along the street has a title. Plates are expired and he couldn't afford plates at this time. I don't think we had an issue with the pickup truck as being a problem, as long as he can get it plated at some point in time. But the Ranger and the Mustang still are there and do not have titles. He told me that he works from 9 a.m. to 10:30, and his father is addressing health issues. So that's why they weren't able to come to the meeting tonight.
How long has the dumpster been there?
Well, they rent them for 2 weeks. That's a city dumpster.
Oh, is that the city dumpster?
Yep, we rented it. So it's gone.
I assume it was filled up. But it looks like it's filled
I
up. The
think
lids don't
They
shut.
called a couple times to have it dumped.
The lids aren't shut. I don't
Yeah.
know this picture.
So what did he say about the Ranger?
He basically said that the one, I think it was the Ranger, he said, was part of a bankruptcy situation, and that's why he can't get a title, or why he's struggling to get a title for that one.
I probably feel like he needs direction on how to go about it. Don't you?
Didn't
After a
he-
conversation with him?
Didn't he say the city could scrap them and you just would want the money for them? He acted like if we took care of them.
He doesn't have
he
a
would be fine
trailer.
with it.
Yeah, he doesn't have a trailer. And
He said that the city wanted to pay him $500.
$500 for it.
yeah.
To scrap them.
Wow. Clinton running the paper.
But I think he has a tough time trying to get titles and trying to do things because he works from 9 to 10:30. He said every day.
So if we were to somehow connect him with someone that was actually skilled in this area as far as scrapping,
I think he'd be fine with it.
I think that's what we need to do. I mean, if he wants to get, if he wants to get,
You know, I got another guy that I think would get rid of it quick.
Oh,
Well, seriously, that's a good point.
I think we
Let's
just,
put them together.
to Cal's point, let's try to come up with a suggestion. I drove by here and I've driven by the front of the house hundreds of times. I drove by the back today, went back into the cul-de-sac and turned around and kind of looked at the Ford Ranger sitting there in the back. It would be nice if both of those cars went away. If there was a definition in our ordinance of junk vehicles.
Yeah.
These
Those are
are poster children.
Yeah.
For junk children. I mean,
They're either sitting there so long that the ground is above the tire.
yeah.
Yeah, they're either flat
Right
or
now,
sunk.
With the ground thawing out today, would have been a good day to pull that out.
Right.
Would it be in order to send a letter to him that we met and asked him to remove those items?
Well, I think what might be good is to send a letter to him with a suggestion of who to contact.
I can ask
Or
the
have
guy,
that person to contact him.
I can ask the guy if he'd be interested in
Scrap.
scrapping them.
Mm-hmm.
And if he says yes, then I could have Kelly write a letter that just
There you
says, we have someone that's interested in them, if you'll let him take them.
Is there
He
any
says-
issues with that, with it being tied up in a bankruptcy?
Or no titles.
It hasn't been tied up with a bankruptcy for 3 years.
And it's been there longer than 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been there
So
15,
now,
20 years.
there may be a problem with title, but my guess is that bankruptcy has been done for quite a while.
But I would think maybe who Shannon's thinking of might have an idea of how titles can be
Yeah.
acquired for things like this. I'm not putting words in your mouth, but.
I don't think he's gonna care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
So,
Well, if we could get those two things taken care of,
That's-
this
that's-
property.
that's a real win
Those
if
are
that
the
can
big, big deal. Big ticket items.
Yeah. It's a win for the city, but it's also a win for him. That immediately makes his property worth more,
Yeah.
I think.
that's wrong. What's next? Which property?
166.
166.
Okay.
This property on Bryan Street has been brought up a number of times at our morning coffee group at Parkway.
Well, hasn't this been where they've all started? If we're to be honest, if we're to be honest, isn't this where it's all started?
You want me to be honest?
Sure.
Probably.
I wasn't expecting anything less.
Okay.
So this person actually called in and I talked to him. Someone is living in that RV. And they had mentioned that.
Which, the one to the,
Right there.
okay, that one.
Yeah.
When did they tell you that?
Huh?
When did they tell you that?
When we sent the letter, he called in and I asked him to be here. But yeah, he said he was gonna tell her to move out, cause I said, you're not to live. I had shared that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that person is still living. It was some family relative to him.
Did we hear from the property owner?
I never talked, no, the shopper.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
But
Did
he
he
did
know,
mention
right?
that he might just put a fence up, and that appears to be what he did. So,
But they still can't live in it.
Yeah.
right.
Right. So again, let's.
So as of today, I don't know. He told me he was gonna ask her to move out. I don't know.
I think
His name
since,
is-
I don't remember what the guy's
Okay.
name is.
I think since we haven't sent a letter, I mean, we wouldn't send it from this board. But if it would help them to send a letter stating what the rules are as far as residency, to give him clout with whoever's living in it to move them along, might be good.
Good suggestion, Ron. It's a nice way of saying, you're out of order, let's get a move.
And how do we find out if, because when I spoke to him, he said he was going to have her move out. He was gonna tell her.
How long was that?
I mean, it was right after we mailed those letters. It's probably been,
Do we still
We
have?
have contact,
3
if we
weeks.
have contact information, we really call them. 'Cause that's
so I
clearly-
think this is a family because I think he lived at actually 517 Hendricks, but I think his mom might live at 166. I don't know. It was family related. Everyone that lived on that plot of land. So I don't know if we have contact information.
No, I just have the renter information and then property owner. Actually, I only have the renter. But a letter did get delivered to the house, physically to the
Yes.
house.
So if we find a number, if I have it in the utility, do you want me to give him a call and confirm? And just take his word from,
That's what we can do. I mean, it's all we can do.
and the fence is solving that issue? Let him know.
If no one's in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the only issue would be if
Somebody
there was
living.
residents in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
The fence makes things look better. But the residency thing is the issue. At least on 166 Bryan Street.
Do we need to have the police check the car out to see if it's plated?
I think so.
No one is back in.
Mm-hmm. And it's been there for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd recommend that too.
Okay.
Okay. Next one is 517 Hendricks.
So he, same person, was addressing this too when he called. And I looked up his property. His property line literally is the side of that house. So
Yep.
even moving where he moved the trailer,
He's still on
it's
the
still, yeah. Because it literally, that property line is runs right next to that house.
So it's in the alley.
Well, before it really was in the alley. But now he's moved it. If that's truly where the property line is, he's still in the alley.
Yeah.
And that was what the letter was about on that one.
Who is this person?
Do you have the name of the guy?
No, not the people that rent.
I can't remember what his name was.
There is a time that I think, we have to concentrate more on the property owner rather than the renter, because the landlord has to be responsible for how their property is used.
And he got a copy of the letter.
I mean,
Yeah.
if we ever get to the point where we're talking about fines,
Yeah.
it's the property owner.
Right.
Yeah, they got certified to both leasing and landlord.
Unless Chick Springer would turn over if they saw this property where Jerry Springer grew up.
So on 517 Hendrick Street, are we saying that the camper needs to go away because it's in the alley?
Well, you know what, it's hard to know, because the GIS, I always tell people it's not gospel. It's not, it's not, I mean, it shows that the whole front of the house is on Hendrick Street.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like,
Well, and it looks like, is it on that side of the electric? I mean, it,
Leaks.
oftentimes the pole is right in the corner, isn't that right?
Right on the line.
It's usually right on the
Yeah.
line, so if that's the case, then,
it looks like they
It's-
kind of tried to move it,
yeah.
tucked it in there. At least they made efforts.
Was someone living in?
I don't think anybody's living in that one,
Okay.
because he was pretty honest and told me about the other one. I think if I remember right, they take it to a campground through the summer, and that's why it just now, got set there a month ago, because the campground closed.
There's places, numerous places in Berne to rent a spot to put a camper or a boat. Mhm.
Yeah.
Numerous.
Is this something we talk about when we think about adding to our ordinance?
That's what I would recommend.
Mhm.
I think he did what we asked him to do, and that is remove it from the alley. So, but there can be definitely continued
Yeah.
discussion about.
This situation is no different than the boat.
Mm-hmm.
They're both the
You're
same.
right.
They're both the same.
Boat's the same.
And they've got a tarp over it now, and half the tarp is blown away, it looks like, you know what?
That's
Roof
the other.
probably leaks.
That's the other camper. That's a Friday Street.
No, they both have tarps on them.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's blown off on.
Okay. Couldn't see it here.
I mean, the looks, you know.
That will allow them to park their campers or RVs.
I had shared that
Off-season?
information with him. I had told him there was a place on 700 that he could look into, but it looks like he just squeezed
A
it.
lot of spots available.
Okay, the last one that we have under property review is 686 Westlake Crossing. There has been improvement from 1112 to 1215, as you see in the picture. One of the neighbors talked to me a couple weeks ago and said that there's definitely been an improvement to that property. And I think we enclosed an email that we received from her expressing kind of a plan that she is going to continue to work on taking care of those items. So I think we continue to monitor the situation.
Yeah, she's made good progress, but maybe not quite there yet. But monitoring it for.
The cold weather's had something to do with that as well, I believe.
And I honestly think we kind of got into this mode last year at this time. There were a couple of places that weren't quite the way we wanted them, and we monitored them because it was winter. So I think this is definitely okay with that.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is new properties, which we don't have any new properties. To discuss that were given, we don't have any new complaints that were given to us, put it that way. Don't have anything under other. Any board comments?
You know, I'm not a board member, but I think this was helpful. Right? I think that we don't need to do this every month, but occasionally if we have feedback that I can't get there because I'm working, we don't want them to miss work necessarily. We'd rather them be able to pay for storage. Yeah.
Well, if we would have scheduled it like we did tonight, we wouldn't have, things would still be up in the air. So it's important.
It was important to have feedback from them, so.
I think it was good to have some of the upfront discussion that we shared with why the process is in place.
Ron, would you suggest that my comments are upfront?
No, I meant, no. I was saying the comments that the mayor shared as far as the nuisance ordinance, why we have it up front, we're good. So I wasn't talking about anything you said.
motion to adjourn.
You have it.
Second, is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
When does the camera stop?